Hello, everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing? Yes. Good. What, is food good? I'm good. I want to thank Leah for the invitation for having me here over at your office. Been here many times. I haven't been here, but since I think before COVID. Wow. So it's been a while since I came here. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jose Correa. Uh, Most people know me as Pacho. So if you see me on the street and you say Jose, I just keep on walking because I'm trying to owe you a favor or money. And if you call me Pacho and I'm not expecting, I'm also hiding because I don't know. So I'm trying to avoid people if you can tell. But that's just me, right? Cool fact is I met Mike McCain. I'm sure y'all know him. Before I even know who Mike McCain was. He was still in Berkshire Hathaway. It was my first event I ever went. I attended an event. They say, oh, there's a real estate event in San Antonio. I said, oh, let me go. I used to work at one of the tallest buildings in the city, if you know the company. So I said, let me stop by. I sit in the end. There was a table at the end, another guy and me, and sit there. And this guy shows up and said, who's sitting here? I said, you. He said there, we spoke for 45 minutes. Gave me his business card. I just put it in my pocket, in my suit jacket. Said, I'll be right back. I got something to do. He was the keynote speaker. He happens to be Mike McCain. He never told me who he was, what he was. And then he said, if you ever need something, call me. And I did just that. Called. He never recruited me. He never questioned me about anything, but he told me he mentored me for like the next 3 years. Don't tell him, but he didn't charge him. He charged me. But I say that because if some of you are new or some of you people somewhere in this industry, just ask. I have a saying. We all go to classes like this or go to mega camp or family reunion. And we all idolize people. And you need to utilize them. It's okay to idolize them. Like we all talk about, oh my God, I want to go see this person speak. And you hear them speak. And you write a little note down. And then when you get home, half of the notes don't make sense. I know, it's like that, right? Or they go on my nightstand, like, all right, I'll get it later. And we try to do something that someone else is doing, but then we are afraid to call the person who was out there and was inspiring us. So if you take anything from this is utilize the people you idolize so much. You don't have to do it on your own. So we talk about NAHREP. Anybody here knows what NAHREP is? Doesn't know what NAHREP is?
I do not.
All right, so NAHREP is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. It is the largest non-profit organization for Hispanic real estate professionals in the country. We have over 100 chapters, and I think we are now close to 50,000 members. All right. I am honored and humbled to be the co-founder of the NAHREP Philadelphia chapter, current the president. It was a beautiful run. They asked me to do it again. I said, no, I'm ready to lose my hair. I don't want to lose my mind. Right? So we have a beautiful woman coming up. She's my vice president, Ivana. Y'all meet her. Y'all get to meet her next year. She'll be doing this. And that's what NAHREP is. KW Chispas, anybody know? Heard of it? The Coalition of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals for Keller Williams. So think about Chispas and a Keller Williams eggshell. All right, it's the same thing. They resemble each other, they follow each other, but this is only for Keller Williams agents, and this is for any real estate profession. Those are the two different. All right. Who am I? You have noticed I have an obsession with socks. I have over 1,000 socks. I cannot buy another pair of socks because my wife will kick me out.
Pull the sleeve up.
Permits. Nice.
So I don't know how you would say it in English, but in Spanish, anybody here speak Spanish?
Un poco.
Okay. In Spanish, they always say to me, yo soy la rana. Porque hago lo que me dé la gana.
That's okay.
So I'm a fraud because I do whatever that I please. Yeah. So that's what it is. So a lot of people send me socks with frauds. So it's to the point I don't buy stocks anymore. People just give me stocks. So that's my way of getting along with my wife.
Referral business.
It is. It is. So I'm a real estate agent. I started in 2014 by accident. I did not want to be a real estate agent. My friend who offered me to be a realtor when he made me the first call said, "Yo, we should do real estate." I said, "No, I hate people." Literally, that's what I said. I was coming from, I had a night job and I had to talk to people. I thought, why do I want to talk to people? He bugged me enough. December 1st of 2014, I became a real estate agent. I was a solo agent, built a small team because I was a dual career, so I couldn't supply my demand. And then I left the corporate America, had my own team, the Jose Correa team. I'm the co-founder of NAHREP Philadelphia. I'm a productivity coach now since 2022 to present. I do productivity coach, but my productivity coaching is more narrow to Hispanic and military personnel and their families to transition from the military life to the civilian life. So I do productivity coaching for KW military, KW chief bus, and for the two officers that I belong to, Northeast and Denver now. What else I do? I'm now the KW Chief Bus Director of Growth. So if anybody is interested in KW Chief Bus, one of my next jobs is opening up chapters in the East Coast because we don't have any. I'm currently working with the Chicago and Indianapolis and Boston and Rhode Island. So if anybody is interested in getting to know more about it, and guess what? You don't have to be this fancy. You just have to want to help the community. All right, and I'll explain that to you later. I'm a big believer that we can't talk about inclusion if we exclude it. So the door is open to everybody. All right. I'm part of the board of directors for YMCA Northeast Philadelphia. I'm a past assistant team leader and team leader. I did that for 3 years, 3 and 2. I was rookie of the year my first year as a part-time agent. I only worked Saturday and Sunday, 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday. I just did open houses because I had a working corporate America. I was a father. I was a coach for my son Steve. I was assistant coach for his football team, and I love partying. I'm just, so I only worked 4 days, 8 hours a week, and I sold my first year. I sold 16 houses. Here's the cool thing. I didn't sell none of the open houses I did. But guess what? People thought I sold everything in this world. No one knows that they were not my houses. Back then, I don't know if you know Juniata. I'm from there. Houses were $60,000. Almost 11 years ago. So I was selling a lot of those family houses, right? Right? Cultural icon for the region 2016 and 2017. KW Chief Bus Latino of the Year. KW Military Regional Ambassador. Army veteran with a career with more than 10 years of service. I got injured. That's the reason why you get to meet me, because now we'll still be doing it. It's literally the one thing and the only thing I think I ever loved to do was be in the military. I got injured, so I'm here now, but I love what life has done for me so far. And at the end, I leave that at the end. Proud son, brother, uncle, husband, and father. Because out of all those things, that's the only thing I'm proud of. Everything is the titles. They'll come and they'll go. And sometimes they make people feel bigger than they are. But my family is my number one thing, so that's why I leave that at the end. All right. If you ever think about doing any of that or you're interested in anything of that, I don't have all the answers, but I do have enough connections that I can connect you with the right person. If you ever think of going into the next level of Keller Williams, I've been able to have 37 people under my first downline. So if you are paying for your bills in Keller Williams, you're not doing Keller Williams right. Let someone else pay for you to be here. That's what I'll tell you. And everybody that I got in is all of my friends or family members. So I'm not out there, I'm not on the street with a sign, hey, you want to be Keller Williams agent? No. I'm hiring people that are my friends. I'm hiring people that are the business for the people, my past clients. and now they pay for me to be in California. Cool. Any questions so far? Let me go back. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about the Hispanic Wealth Report. All right. So what does NAHREP do? What does NAHREP? NAHREP does not do anything for the actual people, for the customer. We do not talk to the customer. The customer is not our priority. Our priority is all of you who are the professionals. NAHREP believes that if we can fool the professional, you do the right thing for the community. Right? And the thing with NAHREP, like I said, is not just for Hispanic. Everything's in English, believe it or not. Most of everything is English. We do have certain calls that are in Spanish, right? When we have people from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and like that. Same thing with Chifa. Everything is, and most of the time, I'll be honest, it's Spanish. I've been in this country 31 years. My number one language is Spanish. Sometimes I forget how to say it in English and Spanish, and it just flows however it flows. Right? The funny thing is most people understand me. Well, you speak Spanish, like, how do you understand that? I put it together. I said, okay. So that's what we do. We work in every sector of the community. From agents like you, who are attorneys, to law, that, and it's not political, but we do attack immigration law, that has some attachment to real estate and wealth. So we're not out there, lobbying for nobody. We're lobbying for our community, right? To make it better for people to buy homes, for people to have the equal opportunity to buy a home that is just like anyone else, all right? So don't think we out there, or you're gonna see us on a commercial. That's not what we do. Here are some cool facts, right? So the Hispanic ownership in 2024 made up 49% of all the sales. So 49. So think about all the races in Hispanic. Right? Think about all the races just in this room. And one race made 49% of all the sales in 2021. So when I tell you that it's not only for Hispanics, it's because not because we don't want to, it's because we can't service our own community. Even as a professional, we are outnumbered by our own community. Last year alone in this country, 644,000 new Hispanic families were formed. That alone are outpacing the real estate market. Right? And I'll tell you, if you don't speak Spanish, it's okay. Right? Hispanic people, do they feel more comfortable with someone like me that looks at me and speak like me and have an accent like me? Probably, yes. But if they see that you're willing to help, no Hispanic will ever turn you away. Even if you just say hola, you make their day. I guarantee you. I'm telling you, it's just making them feel welcome. Right? That's the point, right? But that's really what it is, right? And the Hispanic people, we work on trust. Trust is everything to us. Because back in our country, we don't have all this paperwork to sell our home. Like I go to Montreal, can you find me a home? Yeah, okay. And it's all in trust. There's no paperwork. So if you get somebody in the Hispanic country to trust you, they'll never leave you. Unless someone else, there's some little iffy ones around there. But, yeah. So that's what I was saying. So we have 9.8 million Hispanic owners, households. All right. Our goal is to get to 50%. All right. And this is actually a decline from 2023. In 2023, we made out 49.5%. We didn't lose any homes. So everybody that's a homeowner is still a homeowner, and we have more homeownership than we did in 2023. It's just that there's not enough market for them. So that's a decline. So some people say, how do you decline and still have positive numbers? Maybe you just have to be in our culture. All right. Um, the goal is to increase the number of Hispanic households to 11.5 million within the next 3 to 5 years. And that's being modest and taking in consideration, again, not politically, but the current presidency and the agendas that are currently happening is holding us back a little bit. A lot of grants are being, right now the government is shut down, and a lot of our community grants can help. So we take all of the stuff into consideration, all right? The increased rate of the Hispanic investment property in ownership we have increased by 25%. It is said that within the next 15 to 20 years, 98% of all real estate business in this country will have someone who's Hispanic in the house. I don't get paid by saying this, but I think you should all download stuff as Duolingo. That's funny. Don't get left out. I don't get paid for promoting it. Right? But it works. And believe it, before I lost my hair, I had a barber. My barber today is a real estate agent. And he learned Spanish to Duolingo and speaking with us. And he's not Hispanic. He put in 5 years of work and he speaks Spanish. Right? Guess what? He's servicing the same community I'm servicing. So if you want to be within that 98% of success rate, learn a little bit. Like I say again, you don't have to learn it all, but just enough to help it. We are now getting into what is called the business side of it, the commercial side of it. So the sad part about it is we also owe about 78% of all the small businesses in the country. What I mean by that is the corner store, the hair salon, the tire place, barber shops, right? Small mom and pop restaurants, we hold 78% of those. Unfortunately, less than 1% own the building they do business in. But guess what? They have the money to buy it. They just haven't found the person that helped them acquire that building. Right? I have my yard and my class are Hispanic. I have one special couple. He cuts grass, he cleans houses. And every 3 months, they have about $120,000, $150,000 to buy a new business property. I'm like, man, I should be cutting grass. But I hate to eat. I hate to eat, right? We say, oh man, I should clean houses. But no, my mom used to make me clean the house every Saturday from top to bottom before I went out. So I hate cleaning houses, right? But it happens. The money is there. That's why NAHREP focuses on you guys and you ladies. Because if that person can get a hold of one of you can help them, it's a win-win situation. You heard of Bukele was a win-win situation. You find somebody who has, the drive to buy something, to better themselves, and then you have to buy the agent. And let me tell you, the Hispanics will promote your business like no other. I only service, the majority of my service is Hispanics and military families. In 11 years of my career, coming December 1st, I never made a call. I never done a donut. And I will be open house in my first year. My community and my clients from the military serve me everything. And I get over 500 leads a year. If you provide the right service, they come to you. And that shouldn't be just in my community. That should be in whatever niche you're in. If you do provide the right service, you should never be able to you shouldn't have to make a call. I know I hate cold calling. When I was in high school, I got a part-time job at a call center. Right? In Kino Crusher. I got to the call center. They told me I remember 60 calls per hour. Okay. I got in at 9, 11:30. They said you can go on break. I never went back. Even si Aleja, no, me llama, pero se llama Vive. I don't know there. My particular pressure move. I didn't go down the bus, got home early, but I was work. So they closed it. That's how I knew cold calling was not my thing, right? And then I went to school for marketing, so then I had to learn something, all right? So you guys know what you're good at. I know what I know what I suck at, all right? Um, this 10% of realtors, that's the percentage that service in our community. Only 10% of real estate professionals are servicing in Hispanic community. And that's not even counting, that's counting everybody, not just Hispanic realtors. So there's plenty of growth there. There's plenty of money right here. All right. This right here, 10.7% is loan officers and credit repair. But this number is even lower than this is. This is a little skewed because now you have agents who have lender license, right? But they don't really practice the lending side. They just want the referral. So that calculates that. So that I think that is around 7% when you take out all the agents have a lender's license but don't practice the business. And why is this important? Because the community doesn't need to continue growing. It's growing on its own and continues to grow. It's on and grow. This is what we want to work on. And bringing these numbers a lot higher.
Do you know what percent of realtors in the country are Hispanic?
Not even 5%.
Not even 5%. Yeah.
We are a number. I don't hold me on it, but I think our number is like almost 6,000 families for real estate and that's Hispanic.
What the hell? That's great.
So then the way to look at it is there's also Hispanic realtors
Yeah.
who don't speak Spanish. So they don't really qualify them fully. So there's like a half a and they qualify on stack,
Yeah.
right? You still have a house, right? You only have one side of the deal. So that like people be like, I look at my numbers, the first time I look at my numbers, they're like somebody be like, you sold 20.5 houses with a picture of a house. And yeah, you only do half of the transaction. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's very low.
Yeah.
Like it's super. Since COVID is when really the Hispanic community got into the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
It's been only since COVID. Like many people. I think COVID attracted everybody.
Yeah.
What you doing? I'm doing real estate. Me too. There's one, right? And it's only 75 hours and what, $1,500? You sell your first home, you got your money back. You know what I mean? Maybe if you're in Texas, you think about it, because I think it's 120 or 170 hours to become a real estate in Texas. Sound like it. Cool. We can keep it. I'll send you a referral. All right? Okay. Any questions so far?
Yes. Right here.
Right. Here's the number of owned employer firms. So a lot of people say that Hispanics, we work for people. A lot of people say it. Fortunate that we come to this country to steal people's jobs, take people's riches, and we're doing this and we're doing that. 600,000 own Latino businesses. And less than 1% own the building what we do on this thing. I think 94%. You know, they always say too, the Hispanic community holds their money under their mattress, right? I think it's 96% of us actually have a bank account. With more money than we can count. The reason for it is many of our communities have an ICANN work permit. Maybe not so much in this side of the coast, but the lower, the west coast, Texas, California, Arizona, Colorado, right? Parts of Florida, majority of our communities have an ICANN, meaning they have a permit to work. but they can only invest in certain much, right? And there's people who don't care about wearing the latest and newest, right? They're not buying Jordans, they're not buying other, nothing against it, but they're not, right? They're saving money because every 3 to 5 years, they gotta renew that permit. If that permit is not renewed, you're on your way home. So they saved that lot of money. They have thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank account just because it's paid, right? And because they always care, and that's where the education portion comes, because they think if they get deported, everything that they have here is taken away from them, and it's not. They can have property here, and they can keep them here, and they can rent them, and they can have someone else continue renting, and that becomes passive income, but they don't have that education. They don't have no one to pay that, right? No one can pay their bank account, but it was money that was legally spent. It worked for the money. All right. So there should be more businesses and more homes being sold if we educate the professionals. That's what it comes down to. All right. Out of those firms, 3.6 million, we employ 3.6 million people annually. This is what Hispanic businesses bring. It's $153 billion. It's what our industry and our community bring. If you want to know what people say, what do you guys bring to the table? A lot of money, right? And we owe it. You know why? Because this country has given us something that our country never gave us. None of us came here to leave again. Maybe when you get old, right? But people come here, like if you send me back to Colombia, I'm okay with it. But I left Colombia 31 years ago. I'm more of this side than that side. Right? And out of those 31 years, I spent 9 years between Asia, Middle East, Europe in the military. Right? I have no plans on leaving. I have a son now that's born and raised here. Hopefully he'll have kids one day. We don't want to leave. We don't want to take anything with us. We take what we have if they take us out. But if you don't take us out, it's money that is going to be invested in this economy to make us all better. And that's what we're trying to educate people on. Right? And then, and unfortunately, there's still racism and things like that, right? I don't want a Hispanic family next to me. I don't want a Hispanic family in my neighborhood. Why not?
City over there. Alright, it's just Puerto Rican families, and I love it.
But some people feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Right? We still fight that. No? Even for an offer, the highest offer, still not get accepted for whatever reason. Right? And it also hurts when your agent's name is Jose. So the agent is Spanish, and the man is Spanish, and we're not telling them out. You have to. Right? I heard something so shocking in a reunion I was in San Diego. San Diego, we have our convention, our big convention. We went into the family reunion in Mega Camp. And I went to an event for landlords and tenants. And I learned that some of these landlords are asking for sexual favors instead of rent. So they find Hispanic women attractive. And out of all the things I have heard in my life and all the things I have seen in the military, that really bothered me. So I have a sister, I have nieces, so my mom came to this country, right, with a backpack and like $200 in her pocket. My mom came here illegally. And I'm proud to say that. She cleaned houses and she cleaned malls and she did what she had to do. And then, she got her residency and things like that. And sometimes I wonder, because I would say to my mom, one day can you tell me the story? And she said there's certain things that I don't want to talk about. All right? I would love to know the story. My child wants to know the story. but I can't make my mom tell me a story she doesn't want to tell me. And sometimes I wonder if it's something very dark, right? So then that's why pushing for institutions like NAHREP is important, right? And then the way we look at it, if we can teach this to everybody, everybody can adapt this to whatever community you're in or whatever niche you're serving. We're just here to provide the numbers. And hopefully inspire all of you to go back and look for the numbers in your community. Look for the numbers in whatever niche you offer. Without the numbers, you don't know what you're really doing or what kind of impact you give people. Right? I thought I was doing amazing by helping 50 to 80 families, Hispanic families a year. And I'm like, no, I started for 11, I check.
Now we have 40,000 sales, yeah.
Right? We have an event tomorrow at the Ritz Carlton. We bring in a lady who has done $400 million in production service in the Hispanic community.
Terrible.
No, Peg, she's from Boston. Right? Now that's somebody who's doing something. All right? But if everybody does a little bit, it's a beautiful thing. All right? The goal is to triple the investment allocated by funding for Hispanics. So for us Hispanics, it's still hard to be funded. All right? And we like to believe what they tell us, right? I'm a big believer that I can't blame nobody or tell you do wrong or you're not doing what you're doing. All right? The lending industry will tell you that they don't look at names, they don't look at zip codes, they don't look at anything that can be fight. Right? And I probably do. But the numbers show that Hispanic families get denied 3 times more than any other race. With the same qualification. So again, I can't tell you you're lying to me. But if I look at the numbers, something doesn't add up. And that's our biggest fight. Because without funding, that's in a way we look at it like without the funding is how they keep us down. How we forever be renters. Right? So one of our biggest fight, and I was just in Washington at the beginning of the year, to allow me for it. What is it that we have to do? Not to give us anything because we're not asking for nothing. To be treated equally when it comes to applying for a loan. Right? And that's the power that NAHREP has. I don't have that. NAHREP has the power to employ all these people in San Diego to do all this research. So that's how we get empowered. Right? And I'll be honest with you, and it's not even about color. My number one lender, I have worked with her for 11 years. This is my first deal with my cousin when I know nothing. It's a white woman. I have Hispanic lenders who did me wrong. I'll be the first one to tell you. It's not a color thing. But somehow, we get denied 3 times more than anyone else with the same qualification for the same homeowner, same neighborhood, or whatever they call it. So our job is that to triple and invest and allocate all that money. Right? The government always argues that we come, we work, and we send our money home. We do. Because you're not allowing us to go here. So we have to work out. Right? And I'll tell you that my son, born right here, has gone through more racial issues than me. Because I worked so hard to get my son out of my neighborhood. I'm from North Philly when I came to this time. I'm from Fifth and County. The farm of the hood. If you know Philly, If you know Philly, you know where, right? And I work hard to get out of there. I grew up with people that look like me, had an accent like me, that could the same things like me. We had the same thing, right? And I worked so hard to get out of there, never thinking that I was going to put my son in a I was always thinking, oh, I'm going to put my son in a better position. And I have, educationally and everything else. But he is now the real 1%. Right? He has curly hair with an afro, and he doesn't care. He likes to dye it and do all kinds of funky stuff with it. Right? But he tells me, yeah, that, my son practiced swimming. Oh, dude. What happened to soccer? Right? What happened to soccer? My wife was a semi-pro swimmer. She's Colombian. I said, that's the difference between the rich Colombian people.
Yeah.
Even normal people play soccer. I think I know four in the neighborhood. The black water is going through the neighborhood. Like, in water, no money, right? He's like, Dad, I think I'm playing rugby. I'm like, boy. I think we're going back to Norfolk. You become rugby, your grandfather is going to take the last name from us, right? But it happens. We work so hard to get to a certain level, not knowing where we put them in point, right? But guess what? We can't go backwards, right? I'm proud to say that my son goes to Southwest and just pray. There's less than 10 Hispanic kids in the whole school. Right? The school's amazing though. I mean, hands down, if I have to put my kid in another school, it won't be St. Joseph Prep. Right? But in my family, he wants to break in all the Hispanic rules. Because I don't know, I'm speaking on the Hispanic we have. In Hispanic communities, we always grew up with a negative impact of our money. I grew up in the East. So I grew up in the era of Pablo Escobar, cartels, coke, and everything else you can think of. So anyone who got money in Colombia was a street pharmaceutical, right? Was delivering the goods. And in Colombia, and I'll be honest, when I came to this country, I saw more drugs here than I ever saw in Colombia. We don't have corners. Nobody in Colombia is work, like we say, nobody in Colombia is working for minimum wage. Then nobody is selling nickels and that. What the hell is doing out there? He's trying to realize, that's your drug dealer? Yeah. My uncle got like 50 gallons of coke. It's like, because that was the truth. I come here and I'm like, they say Colombia's bad. Like, we don't sell drugs on the street. We don't see people smoking weed. Even today, you see somebody smoking weed in Colombia, it's kind of taboo. But the news will tell you that. Right? What I will say to any of you is, whatever community you serve, do it for the right of the community, not for your pocket. I have made a great living, and I have never looked at it because, oh my God, I'm gonna make this much because I make that much, right? I'm at a point in my career where actually I have to go back to neighborhood and hang out with my friends because everybody thinks I do. Oh my God, I'm just a big name. No, dude, I'm still the same guy from freaking Henry, right? I don't want my community to forget. I don't want my community to think I'm no longer part of their solution. I don't want my community to think I'm the one who made it and never came back or forgot about it. And I go for everybody. Because I tell people, guess what? Whether you believe it or not, there's poor white people who are also being discriminated. That's why I say it's not a color thing. I live down south. I live in Mississippi, Missouri, Alabama, right? And when you come from here, you're thinking, white people got the money. I pull up to Australia Park, you know, white people, I'm like, you're like, no, they still poor too. Yeah, never went up north, right? But that was the impression I had. On the East Coast, you watch movies, right? You pull out to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and you got these beautiful homes, and you're all nice, and then you go, I went to my home, I call him Big Red, country boy. He had never seen someone like me until that day. And he told me that. You're sharing rooms, we shook hands, that I never saw someone like you in person. I only seen people like you on TV. So this is going to be a long, long time. And we did, we got an into it a few times, because he didn't know how to talk, and I didn't know how to react. So, two negative things meet each other. He told me about Johnny Cash. Once I throw his boombox out the window one time because I got tired of Johnny Cash, right? And he said, "We're going to my house." I said, "Man, I'm like, I want to see the beautiful side of Harrisburg, Mississippi." I ended up in a goddamn trailer park. He said, "We're going to sleep over here." We got AC in our barracks. You family don't got AC. We're going back. So that's what, and that's what part of military, NAHREP, being an association, being part of something that you believe in is so important. Don't let no one ever tell you that that certain people are not going to struggle. Everyone is. Everyone's going to a struggle. It might not be the same struggle as you, but it's a struggle for someone else. If somebody ever asks you for help them. Don't think about where they come from, what they look like, right? I learned that. I have people who ask me the dumbest question. I got injured in Iraq on my second deployment. And I have people who ask me, you hate Muslim people. I say, why? I don't know what I do with the war. What it is supposed right? Like, it don't matter, like, but people who think that way. People think because I post certain kind of them, I hate every Muslim. One of my best friends is Muslim. And of course, his name is Muhammad. Like every other one else, right? It's the most famous name after Jose, believe it or not. So, that's what I will tell you. 96, here it is, financial among Hispanic households. We have some work to do on some of them. So 96% of them own a transactional account, maybe a savings and a checking account. 33% of them own a retirement account. 33% of them have in a retirement. They have money, but they don't put it in a retirement account. And I'll tell you what, if it comes to the machismo of the Hispanic men. Hispanic men, many of them, not all of them, many of them don't want to leave anything behind to their family. And I heard it from clients of mine. That I didn't do anything. I died, she'll bring another man in my house. I'm like, you dead. But it's that machismo.
It's true.
They rather not leave anything than leave something and with the thought that their wife or somebody is gonna make another life with the hard working money they get. I don't understand it, but I guess I'm too Americanized. But it is, and I heard it from clients of mine, directly from clients of mine, like, do the best, find more property, get an IRA, get a financial advisor. I'm not even that much crazy. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Don't you love your kids?
They'll tell you when they turn 18, you're on your own. And I'm one of those.
Go on one of those small businesses.
I told my son, the day you leave for college, you're that pocketbook and your mom's pocketbook and your dad's one float. There's no, I'm coming back to your baseline. I was like, my dad gave me a 1989 Jetta and I made it this far. And I went to public school. The days I went, That's how we ended up in the military. 15% on a brokerage account. We are not educated by any means when it comes to generational wealth. Our community, even me, and I told this to my parents, taught you how to be a good person, how to work hard to the day I die. But you never taught me how to live life and enjoy it.
Wow.
My parents worked 2, 3 jobs to give us good. but they never took our patient. They never throw us with something, right? Every time you want to McDonald's, there's food at home, right? So, and that's where that comes from. We're scared of putting our money somewhere else and trusting someone to work for us, right? And I'm sure some of the communities, some of your communities also go through that, right? Like we were talking about in the last panel, I was one of the people who was under the impression that Asian families were all rich, right? When we're talking about that. And I donated time, I donated a lot of my time at food bank because a lot of veterans are homeless. So I thought, and I went to a certain food bank and Asian families would start coming. And I was shocked. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, hey Macho, welcome to Federal Wings. Thank you for being here. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. And congratulations on your local corporation. It's not right here. I know you guys have a national convention next month.
Yeah.
So yeah, disaggregation data. Because some Asians are doing great, some Asians are not. And you guys also have disaggregation data as well. We have the State of Asian America report. So I just wanted to know what was your biggest accomplishment this year as president of NAHREP? What was the biggest challenge, and what are you looking forward to next year as the governor? What is that?
So the biggest challenge is education. And it's educating the profession. Educating them to understand that our culture is totally different than any other culture. Because in a lot of our countries, there's no rules or regulations. Cash buys everything. Cash and influence, right? And some of the agents don't understand that. You put in a contract in front of a Spanish family, they're not going to call you maybe. They won't, they'll post you, they'll disappear. So the challenge was just that, educating the real estate professional that they need to build some type of relationship before providing documentation or things like that, right? The other thing is getting them to want to learn. Everybody wants to service the community, but nobody wants to learn on how to service the community. Right? So those are the two biggest challenges: education, trying to educate people or have people understand that education is important. And I get it. You can Google everything, you can chat GPT everything, Gemini everything. That's what people think they can do nowadays, right? So educating people is pretty hard. What has been great? So we are the #1 chapter in NAHREP. We are the fastest growing chapter ever created. We have about 148 agents, professional members. Thank God I was able to raise with my board of directors close to $70,000 in revenue within 8 months. So those are the wins, right? Because they will tell us, hey, you're going to suffer the first 3 years, whatnot. We've been great. We have great partnerships. Like the Jason, great is one of ours, newest members for us, right? They see the importance of it. They're one of the huge national sponsors for NAHREP, right? When you guys are lucky to have them here because they're a really great band and they know what to do with the communities and people like that. But I think the biggest challenge is staying at top. I'm a big believer that becoming #1 or something is easy. But I want to really show you the map. Staying at the top is always the hard one. So I think our challenge is coming now that we're going into our second year. Is the challenge of how can we deliver, how can we continue to build, how can we get people to understand this number, right? Because if you don't care about numbers, it doesn't mean anything to you. So that's important. And then also, hopefully that telling these numbers pique somebody's interest to go back into their niche or their community and find numbers and find those associations that are helping their communities or your neighborhood. right? So that's what the challenge is.
Thank you. Congratulations on your success. Thank you for your service. How many chapters do you guys have? 35?
Over 100.
100?
Over 100.
How many members?
Oh, close to 50,000.
50,000. Oh, wow. We have 46 chapters and 90,000.
Yeah.
I'm president.
I know, you're going next year, congratulations. Yeah, we've been around for 25 years, so been around quite a while.
Question, we brought up the business component, which I think is, as a commercial agent, someone who is bilingual, someone who is biracial, one of the biggest obstacles that I've had is explaining to them about financing. Just financing in general for your businesses, how it benefits your business to be able to write off a lot of the expenditures. What sort of literature do you guys, as NAHREP, provide its agents to go out into the field? Like if I'm meeting with a bodega owner or a supermarket owner, to say, hey, these are different grants, these are different opportunities that are afforded to you because you are Latino owned.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of that, but a lot of that happens within NAHREP association. So becoming a member. Becoming a member for NAHREP for the year is only $49.
Right.
$49. And that's where you get the majority fee. So this thing right here is the current one. And I'll tell you, there's only 3 of them circulating in the city of Philadelphia, so this is like gold. I got one put on the question. Sometimes this is how I title for the event. No, I need one. Oh, no, I need one. No, I'm the president. Okay, I get you one, right? That's how this works sometimes. But this has it, but I'm gonna send it to the QR code and you can download it. We have the print of it, right? The other thing is, once you come for now, we introduce you to our lender. We introduce you to the people. We introduce you to financial advisors, to all the people that are already helping the community. So then you're not doing all the work. You're bringing a team with you, right? Like you, I got somebody right now who wants to buy a church.
Let's talk.
They call me, hey, let's buy a church. I said, okay, give me a minute. I call a financial advisor. I said, you need to talk to a financial advisor because I know you have the money, but I don't know if it's the right thing for you to do. You're welcome. So that's what we do. But sometimes we want to make the sale, but is it the right sale to make?
Right. It's a big question.
Right? So we look at, okay, come in anytime, right? But I want to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong to this person. To buy a church. Maybe my financial advisor could tell them, you do this or do this or put this money here or do this, whatever it is. And then you'll work the budget on how much you should pay for a church or what kind of church to get.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
So it seems like you described earlier how there's sort of like, a task or something, an obstacle is actually finding the means of, like finding the entry point to actually educate these people on, financial literacy, stuff like that, things that they might not be as up to date on as they should be. Like once you get past that point, you can start talking about those things. But like, what is the main way that you actually like bridge that divide? Like, are you doing class? Like, how do you like organize people and actually get them involved in it?
Yeah, we have classes, we have national classes, we have leadership classes. So, again, we became the #1 chapter, and Boston's not happy with me, but I hate Boston anyway. Everything Boston I hate. They feel that I crap.
Yeah.
I'm a kidding guy. Right?
Yeah.
So we have next month on November 4th and 5th, we have the Leadership Academy. It was supposed to go to Boston. And then I just made a call and I said, listen, we have the New York chapter with the #1 chapter.
Oh, great.
We have the most ranking. We created this much money. Why is it not coming here? 3 hours later, I get a call from Gary Acosta, who is the CEO and creator, who said, we're going to Philadelphia. But it's going to be here, this W, November 4th and 5th, and I'll show you something so you can look at it. But that's what we do. We do things like that. And we do chapter events. Right? Like tomorrow we have an event at the Ritz-Carlton from 5 to 8 p.m. And we bring in the #1, the 1% agent in NAHREP who has done $400 million in production. We want to talk about how she's helped the community like that. We bring in a lender, Terry Parker, who is currently the #1 lender in NAHREP in the East Coast. And then we bring in an attorney that teaches people how to, how to bulletproof their wealth and help their families. So we do a lot of those things, and every chapter, like our chapter, has 4 events a year. Besides that, we have different, like Washington might have an event. New Jersey may have an event, so you go around to like things like that, and then we have San Diego, and San Diego is like our mega camp.
Yeah. Cool.
So you have those things, and then besides that, we do a lot of Zoom and stuff like that. We get invited to a lot of events. A lot of people, once you start telling people the numbers, everybody wants you.
Yeah.
Because if you know the business is going this way, why you want it? So I was gonna call it Thursday. We are currently the only people holding this economy up. Hispanics are buying more houses than anyone else right now doing this economy. You know why? Because like I told you earlier, most of our clients have an 19 number. Our interest rates are always 10% or higher. Always. And not until recently they changed the rules, but people have been 20%, 25% down, but closing call at a 10 or 12% home. Most of my clients buy houses and then bring $150,000, $120,000 out of pocket.
Yeah.
Great.
It's been awesome. Y'all see the home. I have 2 more stats.
Okay.
Of that same group, because Arlene,
Yeah.
knew a couple of things. 60% of the Hispanic folks who responded to that survey, 60% of them were interested in short-term rental income. 6-0. And the other thing I'll share that came up at the National NAHREP, I got to meet that Mrs. Battles from Chase.
Yeah.
Really impressive woman. The disposable income globally for Latinos has gone from 1.1 trillion, I think in 2019,
3.9.
4. Whoa. They've quadrupled their disposable income in less than a decade. So again, it is about doing right by communities. It is about serving your communities. I'm pretty passionate about that. But we've reached a point where this is just smart business now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You can do both.
yeah. So, Jason, you're the man. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, and we'll do that in the coming days too, where we've got a ton of support. Full Spanish app, full Spanish digital mortgage. So we are trying to put real weight behind
You
this.
guys are lucky with them in-house. They're the biggest sponsors. For now.
It's a national sponsorship, but we've got to get local. Okay, national, I'm really care what they do national. We got to get roots in the ground here locally. So I appreciate it. But you all inside KW Power in all of the offices throughout the 3 states, like we're really going to start hammering this hard. And I met some folks from ARIA out there as well. So I've had some conversations too. That's an amazing. It's all these things I've learned this year. So it's been awesome. It's been refreshing. These groups are about serving. So thank you. Appreciate it.
And then, we have done joint ventures with area. We are teaming up with other groups. And it's a group thing. It's a everybody thing, right? This is the event we have tomorrow at the Ritz Carlton. So like I said, Peggy, she's a CEO and owner of Pack Properties. Down $500 million and more. Terry Parker is number 1. I don't know. I think she's like close to 200 million. Yeah, in volume from last year. And then Anna has been an advocate for immigration and helping people, especially with people getting deported, things like that, how to protect and save their wealth in the generational wealth. And if you haven't noticed, I pay 3 women. I picked 3 women. We closed in Hispanic Heritage Month, right? Showing that women can live with work. Right? Especially like I said, with my community, it's a lot of achievement. Right? And guess what? They're not there because of their friend of mine, they're there because they earned it. We're not giving nothing free. They earn it, and if you can come out, come out. I'll tell you one thing, NAHREP attracts a lot of the big fishers in the city. So if you want to meet people and you want to make great connections, NAHREP will bring you all the great people.
So can I sign up for NAHREP before I have to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, $25.
Yeah, I can get it there, right? So that's what people do. So it's $49 for the year. And then it's $35 for the, or you pay $60 and every time you're gonna end up paying more.
Yeah. Smart.
So that's the whole point of it. And then this is what's happening. Regional Connect Northeast. They didn't give us a QR code for it, but it's NAHREP.org region. You can take a picture of it. This is our leadership academy. It's just the name of it, but it's different breakouts throughout 2 days. A lot of networking events, believe me, and break. Don't tell them I tell you, but they go party, we're holding bar and
Yes.
like holy bullshit.
Julio.
I'm telling you, narrow is big Hispanic, you know.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You made right.
So I'm hoping to see you guys and ladies at one of these events. And if you know, if you ever hear this, so Philadelphia, all three of us are tied for the division. On first division, they won. We won the second division. We are the fastest growing, and
There ain't nothing now.
and we're proud of it. We're proud of it. It's one of the newest chapters, and I didn't do any of this. It was my board directors. I got a great team, and that's how this all came about. You want to become a member? Here's the QR code. Like I said, $49.99. They have a premium one. The premium one is if you're trying to travel. You get discount and you get access to all of the fun stuff. But if you're just looking to get into NAHREP and start getting some of the information that you say you need, this is how you get the email from national, from regional, the invitations, and that's how we make it happen. That's my contact information. If you ever need something or anything, like I said, I don't have all the answers because I don't, but I know enough people that I can connect you with the right person at the right moment.
Cool.
Cool.
Thank you.